Chat, 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 chat. How we doing? Chat. Hello, chat. Hey, chat. Chat, chat, chat. Chat. Who's ready for a live stream today? Who's ready for the live stream today? How's it going, ya? How's it going, ya? Thanks for tuning in. I got one viewer. I got one viewer in here. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, boy. Good stuff, Jang. I feel like the more I stream, so every time I stream, I make my bed, right? And when I make my bed, I feel like I've kind of gained more knowledge on how to do it, because you know, usually I don't make my bed. Actually, the number one thing my friends say to me when they see my stream is they say, "Yo, I'm happy you're making your bed. You're doing really good." Not good looks, but yeah, I feel like I've gained more knowledge on how to make my bed. Like, for example, I look at the lines. Do you guys look at the lines? I look at the lines in the bed, in the blanket, like these creases here. I look at them and see if they're like straight or not. I feel like that's good ball knowledge to see if like your blanket's straight or not. Isn't that kind of crazy? I'm getting better. I'm getting better at taking care of myself. Oh. All right, chat. How we doing? How we doing, everyone? It's good to see everyone here. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's a good day today. So what I have planned today is we're gonna be watching this Shortcat video. Shortcat's like a Mario Kart YouTuber, but he posted a video 2 days ago, and I watched it, and it might be one of his best videos, because it explains why Mario Kart is a hard game. So all you Mario Kart haters out there, you need to watch this video. All right, you need to watch this video, and you need to be proven wrong. So let's just jump straight into it, man.
Mario Kart.
It's like an hour-long video, but let's get it, y'all. Woo! Lock in. Everyone lock in.
Mario Kart has been one of the most popular party games for many years. In fact, I could say for generations. But that would make all of us feel old. After all, 1992 was only 20 years ago. But in the last 34 years, Mario Kart has changed into something completely different. It was once a silly little racing game that you'd play with your family and friends because you can use some of your favorite Nintendo characters.
Just a kids
throw
game.
items at each other until nobody wants to play with you anymore.
What the frick is this?
Now,
what the frick is this?
Play with your family and friends.
Is this supposed to be a Mario Kart ad? What is this?
Favorite Nintendo characters and throw items at each other
oh my god!
until nobody wants to play with you
His grandma got cooked.
But now it gets optimized.
Yeah, for all y'all wanting me to play Mario Kart World, I would love to play Mario Kart World, but I don't have a Switch 2 and I don't want to buy it. So I've been thinking to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but let me know if you want to play Mario Kart World, and I'll try it. I'll try it out. But dude, the shortcuts in this game look like so freaking fun. That's one of the reasons why I've been really wanting to play. But man, it's just Switch 2 is literally $500 freaking, man. And Mario Kart would be the only game I would play. It'd be the only game I would play on the Switch 2 if I had it. So, like, I don't know if it's like completely worth. Oh, I got cooked. Wow. Yeah. I hope you guys watch this and really understand why Mario Kart is competitive here. I feel like every time I play with my friends, they'll say stuff like, "Oh, dude, I'm so unlucky," or like, "Oh, dude, this game is all luck." But it's really not, guys. You're gonna find out. It's really not just all luck.
If you've only played Mario Kart on your own or against your friends, you'd probably think that Mario Kart is pretty difficult at first, but once you master the drifting and learn what different items do and avoid touching grass, except when you're taking shortcuts, then you'll find yourself winning against your friends and against the computer players. But of course, sometimes you will lose, because there are very powerful attack items being thrown around all over the place, and it often feels like just chaos. But that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it not a competitive game, just a party game. But if you go play Mario Kart online, then you'll notice each player has their own rating number, and there is skill-based matchmaking. If you dig a bit deeper, you'll discover there are tournaments for Mario Kart.
I'm currently 7,500 ELO, somewhere around there. 7,500 VR in Mario Kart 8, and I'm trying to get to 10K before the end of the year. So stay tuned and watch me hit that. But let's keep watching this video.
Top level teams are competing. Surely,
dude, I really want to get into these like top level Mario Kart games. Like, it's actually crazy.
And plus, it's just a racing
crazy
game,
up here,
which should not even be that complex.
Yeah, right. It's just a racing game. It's just a racing game, guys.
On the fastest path, which is a solvable problem. So if you can do this better than your opponent, then you should win. After all, it's not like this is a fighting game where you need to quickly react and counter your opponent, or be able to execute complex combos.
See, look at this combo. Like, I feel like a lot of people say like Mario Kart is not like a mechanically complicated game. Like, I don't know, people who are just casuals, but like, take a look at let's look at this combo again, bro. Like, tell me this combo is not hard.
Quickly react and counter your opponent, or be able to execute complex
combos.
This.
You gotta jump through like everything, and it's crazy.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. All right, look.
Man, I really want to learn how to do these combos. This is a reason why I would want to, like, this is probably the biggest reason why I want to play World, is because of these sick combos. Like, I really want to get into this, but no Switch 2, guys.
That because there are other players in the race with you, and
these shortcuts are significant, man. They're like 3 seconds, 2-3 seconds difference.
There is a lot more than that. In fact, there is so much more that it's hard to even explain why Mario Kart is such a difficult game. Like, the driving and shortcuts are difficult. So why don't you just memorize and practice all that stuff? Well, there's also item strategy. What, like use speed items on shortcuts and use attack items to slow down other players? Well, no, you also need to pay attention to so much and consistently make good decisions very quickly. Okay, what big decisions do you have to make? It's a race, just try to go fast. Mario Kart is a very popular game.
This is a very common sentiment I have with this guy. Like, he's so mad. He's so mad that they're just, oh, just go fast, bro. Just drive fast and you win.
Mario Kart is a very popular game, and it works great as a party game, so most people have played it. But the issue is, because it's such a familiar game, it's easy to make assumptions about how the game works. And unless you're someone who really understands what's going on in a Mario Kart race, it's hard to even explain what makes it so difficult. To give you an idea of what I mean, I want to show you this clip. And here's how this is going to work. I will explain the situation that I'm in.
All right, chat, lock in. This is a quiz.
I will then ask you, what should I do
There's a quiz
next?
right here.
And if you'd like, you can test your Mario Kart decision-making skills, which you don't have to do, you can just watch. And throughout this video, we will be doing a lot of these. So we're on the final lap of Desert Hills, and I'm in first place. Now, a risk of being in first place in Mario Kart is that if somebody obtains the blue shell item and throws it, then it will show up on the map and target first place, and it delivers a lot of stun. So it is terrible to get hit by this item. But some items can dodge the blue shell, including a mushroom. If you have a mushroom, you are safe against a blue shell, which is why I am holding this mushroom in first place throughout the final lap. Now, I'm heading up to the final shortcut. Because this shortcut has off-road that slows you down, you have to use a mushroom if you want to make it through this shortcut, and it saves a lot of time. So, in the actual race, what would you do in this situation?
All right. So basically what shortcut is saying is either you can use the mushroom to do the shortcut, or you can save the mushroom for the blue shell because you're in first. And then if you get hit by a blue shell, it's pretty bad for you. So I think what I would do, let me tell you what I would do. I feel like in this situation, people are pretty close. So I feel like it would, like, it's very hard, right? Because I would use the mushroom here because people are saying, like, because people are so close to you that your blue shell, it actually has an impact or shortcut. And if you don't take the shortcut, then everyone will get ahead of you. So I do think that you use the mushroom here, but
if you want to think more about it, you can pause the video, but just to keep it realistic, as these are all split-second decisions happening in the real race, I'll tell you now what I did. I used the mushroom through the shortcut.
Nice,
the race
chat.
is about to end, and you can always look at the map to see if a blue shell got thrown. This doesn't mean I will not get blue shelled for the rest of the race, but the odds of it happening are just so low, and if I don't do this, I may be in the chaos of the pack, where everyone else takes the shortcut and passes me, which is very unsafe. So I did end up making the correct decision.
I feel like whenever I play with my friends, like, they're always in, like, second and I'm in first, and they'll always throw the red shell at me and try to get first. I feel like that is always just not a good play, because you are just going from second, unless it's like the very end of the race, unless you're in like lap 3 of 3. I feel like it is a bad idea to just use your red shells right away, because you are just increasing your chances of getting hit by the blue shell. And you used the red shell, but now you're still gonna get hit by the blue shell. Now you're gonna be back in second, so you just wasted an item that you could use for defense and stuff like that.
And I won this race. Okay, that one was just a warm-up. Now I want to show you another clip. In this clip, we are on the final lap of Desert Hills. I am once again positioned right before the shortcut. I have a mushroom in first place, and we're gonna pause. What would you do in this situation?
I feel like this is the same situation, right? Because it's the same situation, right? Because everyone's kind of, I feel like it is, you could survive not taking the shortcut, low-key, because like people are a little bit further away from you in this case. But let's just see what happens.
Now, you're probably thinking that you have two options here, which is to either take the shortcut with the mushroom or go around the shortcuts. What if I told you that there's actually a secret third option that you should have answered for the previous clip and is also the correct answer to this clip, which is that you don't have enough information to make this decision. Let's play the clip forward a little bit more. This is the moment where I have to decide, and look at the map. There is now a blue shell. So instead of taking the shortcut and having the blue shell end my race, I went around the shortcut, successfully dodged the blue shell, and was still able to win this race.
Wow.
Now, I know what some of you right now are probably thinking. This was a trick question. How were you supposed to know that there's a secret third option? Well, that's exactly why I wanted to show you this. When you're racing, nobody tells you there's an important decision coming up. Nobody tells you what to focus on.
Wow, I guess you need to wait till later. You need to wait till later because that's when you're right before the shortcut. So let's say you chose to take the shortcut, but then the blue shell appeared right then. Like that just means you had to decide like faster and quicker.
Options
like it's like a split-second decision.
Need to decide what is the best option. But how can you find the best option if you don't even know what your options are? That is one reason why Mario Kart is hard. But now I want to show you another clip. Understanding your options is important in Mario Kart, and sometimes you don't even know what are all the options that you have. So let's get rid of that reason completely. This time, we're gonna do something different. I am racing on Dandelion Depths, and I don't have a mushroom, so I am getting rid of my items, trying to get a mushroom, because later on in the track, there is a very big shortcut that is crucial to take. Unfortunately, I once again don't get mushrooms, which means I plan to get rid of these at the next item set to try and get more. But then something unexpected happens. The player in first place makes a mistake, and now I am in first place. Now, something special about being in first place is that you cannot get a mushroom from an item box. So there's no way I can take the next shortcut, and I have a super horn, which can be used to dodge the blue shell. So I'm actually in a pretty good spot now. So why have I paused the clip here? Well, I want to ask you to do something. I just want you to do one thing. I'm going to do the driving, but I'm going to hand over the L button to you. Whenever you think it's the best time to press L to use the items that I have, pause the video. So that's your only job. Your only option is to press L. I just need you to help me decide when to do it.
Alright, chat, let's try this.
Okay, let's do this.
I feel like I would use a banana to trap the shortcut, low-key. I feel like that's the best option here. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh, it took the freaking bananas? Oh my.
Right.
Wait, okay. Wow, it literally came out of nowhere.
I was counting on you. Did you press L?
Maybe I should have pressed L like here. Like, I think I see people coming out of the shortcut and I press my horn. Yeah, I see that and then I do that. And I would survive.
I was counting on you. Did you press L right there?
And then you finished 8th because of that.
We cannot defend against this, and if you press it too late, we've already been hit.
Like I feel like all of my friends who are playing Mario Kart with me, they'll get into this kind of situation. And they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, bro, I got unlucky. This guy hit me with the green shot the last second. How unlucky is that?" But it's not unlucky.
Press it too early.
You're just bad because you should anticipate this and press it early.
Defend against this, and if you press it too late, we've already been hit.
Wow, I feel like if there's such a big difference between good Mario Kart players and bad Mario Kart players.
You probably won the race or something, but if you didn't, then we got 18th place. This attack did not come out of nowhere, and it was completely
That's the difference between birthplace and 18th place.
To explain why, I'm going to try and explain why Mario Kart is such a difficult competitive game.
All right, that was the intro.
Let's start by.
That was the intro. We're not even into the video yet. That was the intro. Like, isn't this such a banger video?
Its simplest form. So you see all this stuff exploding on the screen.
All the Mario Kart haters need to watch this video, man.
Remove all the other racers to simplify it even more. This is called a time trial. It's actually one of the game modes in this game, and the goal is just to complete the course as fast as possible. And this might sound pretty simple, but actually it's already getting very complicated. For something as simple and basic as moving through the track, it might seem quite obvious that you just want to take turns as tight as possible, and that way you finish the race fastest. Some racing games work this way, but Mario Kart does not work this way because of two reasons. The first reason is drifting. When you start a drift, you actually will move slower, but it helps you turn sharper, and if you drift for long enough, then you will charge up mini turbos. However, if the turns are very shallow, then it's actually faster to just steer.
I think this is I think that's different than a deluxe.
That sends you quite high
I think taking it as many
mini
turbos as you can is good.
Mini turbo, carrying that boost into the air prolongs the boost and actually helps you go faster. And
like
also,
literally when I'm time trialing in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like I will get my time and then I'll look at the world record. It's literally like more than 10 seconds faster. Like, this is such a big difference between me and the pros.
To a mini turbo, this is technically slower because we're on a
Like,
straight
it's actually
line,
so
but
impressive.
It turns you more in a specific direction so that when you do the turn in the opposite direction, this helps you charge your next mini turbo better. And because you cannot just drift as sharp as you want, sometimes in order to take a turn, you need to start out wide, and that helps you take the turn sharper. But sometimes
I feel like that thing is
okay
something
to
about
start
it.
sharp because the wall slows you down and helps you wrap around the turn. Simply taking turns is a lot more complicated than you may have thought. But I did say there's one other reason why moving through the track is not so simple. The second reason is because of coins. There are many coins laid out through the track, and when you pick up a coin, it raises your coin counter. The more coins you have, the faster your top speed will be. You can hold up to a maximum of 20 coins, but often there are not actually 20 individual coins for you to pick up on the track, so you don't have to get all the way.
I feel like this is one thing that people who are not good at Mario Kart, they miss, because coins are actually very, very important.
Sometimes a coin is naturally in the driving line you planned to take, so of course get this coin. But sometimes it's far out of the way, so you shouldn't get it, since the speed boost from this coin will ultimately be slower than taking the turn sharper. But sometimes, even if a coin is convenient to grab, you still shouldn't get it because you will be getting this coin so late into the race that the boost from this coin is not going to help you that much anymore. The coins you pick up at the start of the race boost your speed for the entire race, but the coins you pick up near the end only boost your speed for the end. Now let's talk about using your item. In time trials, you get a total of 3 mushrooms that you can use throughout the entire race. Mushrooms give you a short speed boost that also let you drive at full speed through off-road surfaces like grass. So you want to use mushrooms on shortcuts. Every shortcut saves a different amount of time depending on how much of the
I feel
turn
like one
they
thing
cut
that
off. So typically, if you're playing a lap track,
my roommate's really
which is
good at
how
Mario
most of the
Kart, but
tracks
one thing
play,
that he can
then
improve
you'll
on
just do
is
the
using the
same
mushrooms
biggest
correctly.
shortcut all 3 times. But if a
A lot of times
does
I'll
not
see him use
follow
all the
3-lap
mushrooms like
structure,
at the
then
same
you will have to pick
like in one
which
go,
shortcut to do,
and
depending on
I feel
which
that's
one
just not a
takes the
good
most
use of
time.
mushrooms.
What I just described to you is time trials. These are just speedruns. There are no other players, and there are no item boxes besides
Yeah, now
the
you
3
add
mushrooms
23
get
other
at the start.
players to the mix,
And
like it's
time
actually
trials
a mess.
are already incredibly complicated. Each track has its own optimal mushroom strategies and which coins you should get and which coins are not worth getting. Now, luckily, if you play time trials, you don't need to make these decisions in real time because they have already been meticulously figured out by dedicated players, and you can watch the world record to see what the current best known strategy is. The main hard part about time trials is getting good at the mechanical skills to pull off these incredibly difficult shortcuts consistently and optimally. And to some extent, you do need these skills in races against other players. You have to be able to drive fast or you're just not going to win. You just don't have to be this optimized, because that is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Now, let's see what happens when we add in other racers and item boxes. We talked about moving through the track as fast as possible and how this is complicated because of drifting and because of coins. But now we have even more to worry about. If another player has an item that is dangerous, then we have to avoid them as well.
I feel like this point is a number one thing that gets like my friends when I play with them. Like they will play this game with me and then they'll get hit like a lot, and then they'll be like, "Why is everyone hitting me? Why am I always getting hit?" Like I feel like if you see someone with a dangerous item, like it's on you to move out of the way. Like for example, if I have an item behind me and I'm like drifting, you shouldn't drift right behind me because you are going to get hit. If you want to use to hit another player, then you need to be at a specific spot or face a specific direction and use the item at a specific time. Yeah. But that's the sniping is crazy though.
Players. Every once in a while, you'll be presented with an item box set. And once you're here, you need to choose which item box you want. Not just depending on how many items you want, you also have to consider whether another player is going to take the same item box, which can make
sometimes
going for the double item box
take the wrong. Sometimes I go the wrong way,
or you just might get
and then I miss
hit
the item box, and it's really
drop
sad.
Their items here as they cycle for more items. Sometimes you want to take alternate paths to avoid getting hit. These are paths that are typically slower, but may have some other reason to be taken, such as safety or even coins or items on this path, and these are very important to know when you're racing against other players. Now, let's talk about using items. And let's start with speed items. In time trials, you start with 3 mushrooms, and triple mushrooms is also an item you can get in regular races. But if you get triple mushrooms, when should you use them? Should you use them at the first opportunity you get every time? Well, if you do this, you will put yourself further at the front, and players at the front don't get items that are as good. So you're probably not getting any more mushrooms, which means you may have to skip the biggest shortcut that you should have saved your mushroom for. So, okay, maybe that's not the right idea to use the 3 mushrooms right away. Let's pick the 3 best shortcuts on the track so that we can save as much time as possible. Well, this might not work either, because while you are not using your mushrooms, other people may use theirs and catch up, causing you to get hit by their items. So while it was a little bit more clear-cut in time trials what you should do with speed items, now it is a lot more complicated, as other racers can always get in your way. But
I really need to start time trialing more tracks in this game.
What about other items like attack items?
Attack items like that's probably the one thing holding me back right now.
They revolve around you, and this can be very good for defense.
I would also like to. My friend also gave me a good suggestion today. I should review my games.
While that sounds amazing, it does also mean you may be moving slower than people who have shortcut items. So sometimes the best play is to hold these items to stay safe, and sometimes the best play is to get rid of them to try and get mushrooms. Which option is the best?
Yeah, there's so many different decisions you have to make in this game.
How safe you feel, and also the track that you're playing on. Different tracks have different shortcuts that save different amounts of time. And even just the exact section of the track that you are playing on can completely change what is the best choice to make with your items. And now we have another category of items, which is invincibility items, also called dodge items. Dodge items are very important because the most powerful item in the game, the shock, will hit every player in front of the shock user, bring them to a complete stop, and delete all of their items. So of course, if you manage to dodge the shock, then you have a really good chance of doing well this race. So picking just the right spot to use your dodge items can give you a huge reward. Items are a very complex mechanic, because different items are best for
in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's even worse because the shock hits everyone. So the shock is like OP.
And sometimes you want to save an item to use later.
I feel like dodging the shock is such an important part of the game.
And on top of that, items are random. Well, it's
like
not
there is strategy
to
being able to dodge the shock.
Will get worse items,
contrary to
and there
popular
is a
belief.
set pool of what items they can get. Players in lower spots also have a different item pool of better items. And understanding what items you can get in the position that you are in will help you understand if what you have is actually good, and whether or not you should waste it to try and get another better item at the next item set. And finally, we have one more thing to talk about when it comes to real races. You might think you should always try and go as fast as possible, because this is a race, and a race is about going fast. Well, that's not actually true. You don't win the race by going fast at every moment, you win the race by crossing the finish line before anybody else does. And that's an important difference. Sometimes you simply need to slow down because it is faster overall.
True that.
For example, if you see another player behind you holding dangerous items, especially red shells that can target the next player in front of them, then you should slow down to get yourself behind this player where it is safer. If you are in first place and you see a blue shell on the map, if it's far enough away, then you can actually slow down and get out of first place.
This is something I'm really bad at.
Take the blue shell. And this is overall faster.
Like being able to
and first place is
look
just
into
a
a map and
place
dodge
to
the
be
blue
in
shell.
general, where the blue shell can hit you.
Probably the hardest
and
part
you
of the game for me
cannot
right
get
now.
mushrooms. So sometimes, even if you don't see a blue shell, it may be faster to.
It's honestly
slow
the same
down
problem
and
I've
get out
had
of
in like
first place.
multiple games,
If
like
you do
League.
manage to pull a mushroom
League, I
and
can't
take
do
a
that
big
either. I
shortcut,
can't
then
freaking
this
look at
can ultimately win
mini
you
map.
the race. As you
It's
can
actually
see,
really funny
when you
because
play
every
Mario
time
Kart with other
like someone
players
tells you to
and
like
with item
TP
boxes,
or
the amount
like
of
something is
things you
happening,
need to
I'm like
factor
in the
into
corner of the map like
decision-making
farming
becomes
minions.
huge.
And then my
because
teammates are
things
like, dude,
happen
what are you
in the race
doing?
so fast, these are decisions that you have to make
really
in
funny,
a split
actually.
second. And I haven't even talked about where you should be putting your focus. Sometimes you need to look at the map, sometimes you need to look at warnings at the bottom of your screen, sometimes you need to look behind you, sometimes in front of you, sometimes at your coin count,
like
sometimes at the position
genuinely
counter,
crazy.
and sometimes
This
at
game's
the
pretty
items that
crazy.
you get. Ideally, we want to be able to look at all of this at once in order to make the most informed decision. But in reality, that is just not possible. Too much is happening at once, and you need to pick the most important place to look. Choosing to look at the wrong spot at the wrong time can completely ruin your race. And unlike time trials, where if you make a mistake that makes you go 2 seconds slower, you'll finish the race 2 seconds later, in an actual race, making one mistake can be devastating.
The Cuffser, thank you for the 1 bit, bro.
You were in a safe position, but after being hit, half the racers pass
Appreciate
you at once
that, man.
with their items, and you get hit again. And this can happen again and again, and
Oh
you could
my
have had
gosh.
the lead for 90% of the race. But one little mistake right at the end, and you get last place.
This is a reason why, like, I feel like whenever I'm talking with my friends about Mario Kart, and I tell them about these like small cuts, like they will always say, "Dude, you're only saving like half a second. Doesn't make any difference." But this is the reason why it makes a big difference, because for every second you waste, that's a second that people can come up to you, and that's a potential item that people can hit you with. So actually driving fast is very important in this game. Even if you were like half a second faster, like that makes or breaks your race.
Video, but all I've done so far is probably convince you that there is way too much going on. And you're probably thinking, you'll never make the best decision in any moment in any race. I mean, how could you? There's just way too much to consider.
I feel like it's just experience that you
Mario Kart was simple.
just gotta keep racing and do more stuff and like
in a way that is
think of your games and
still
stuff
have success against
and have good
players
decision
who
making.
Play it in the same way. After all, it is first and foremost a party game that can be enjoyed by players of all skill levels. But with that being said, now that you understand that you are faced with an effectively infinite amount of options to choose from as you play a race, you now know why some players are able to become incredibly good at Mario Kart. Sure, even the best players will lose sometimes due to a poor decision or just bad luck, or even just due to a good decision that happens to not pay off in this particular race. The best players can lose, but the best players consistently come out on top, especially if you play many races and add up the score. That is how competitive formats work. We don't just play one race, we play many races, and the same best players typically win. And it's not just because they are luckier, and it's not just because they know more shortcuts. It's because at every single moment, they are making
Mario Kart will look
decisions.
so much fun.
They're making decisions that
Maybe I should
slightly
buy
increase
Switch
their
2,
safety
man.
around items, or just barely improve their odds of making it to the front. And it may not seem like much, but when you add up all these small decisions over the course of an entire race, this is what makes
I feel
Mario
like as I
Kart
keep streaming,
difficult
like
to master.
Like as I keep streaming, I feel like
At this point,
I'm
it
just buying
probably
more and
seems
more
like
games.
Every single
'Cause
moment
there's
in
so
the
many
race
games I wanna play on
might
stream.
Be very important with so many options. of
Hello,
what you
Raisin
could
Bagels.
do,
Welcome to
and
the
if you
stream,
don't
man.
Pick just the right option, then something terrible may happen to you, and you lose the race. When you play Mario Kart, sometimes this is what it feels like. But despite how random it all seems, there actually is a way to make progress in a race. But first, what does it mean to make
this part
progress?
is important. W
Does that
stream?
mean to reach a higher
W
placement?
stream, yes
For
sir.
example, is it better to be in 3rd place than to be in 10th place? Well, not exactly. In a race of Mario Kart, progress can be measured by your probability of winning the
Duty135,
race.
I
If
noticed
something
that you
happens
took
to
some
you that
inspiration from
increases your
my name.
probability
Thank
of
you,
winning,
man.
Such as
I appreciate
dodging the shot,
the flattery.
then you have made progress. If something happens to you that decreases your probability of winning the race, such as getting hit by a blue shell, then you have lost progress. Those were some pretty obvious examples, but sometimes it's not so obvious. If somebody throws a coin shell and you manage to get a lot of these coins, even if your placement does not improve, you have made progress. If you're in a middle or lower position, you go through the item box and you
Is this
get
legal? Is
terrible
what
items,
watching
then
Shortcut?
you have lost progress.
I feel like
If you're in first place with
Shortcut
these
doesn't
items
copyright
and
his
somebody
videos or
takes
anything.
a shortcut to pass you,
It's not like
then you
it's not
have
like I'm
made
watching
progress.
like anime.
If you're in 5th place with triple red shells,
It's not
and
like I'm
you
watching
throw a red shell
anime,
at 4th place, you have lost
Is
progress.
this a video you sent me?
This may be confusing
Yes,
right
it
now,
is.
but it will all make sense after I explain to you the 4 different
Yeah, I needed to
ways
send this
to
video
make
to you
progress
because
in a Mario
you were hating
Kart
on Mario
race.
Kart. And
The
now
first way to make progress in a race is to drive fast. And of course, Mario Kart is a racing game.
Now
so
you
driving
understand.
fast is important, but there are actually 2 reasons why driving fast is
is
important.
watching
The
someone
first reason
watching
is
something
if
legal?
you are able to drive faster than your opponents.
course, man.
Because you know the fastest paths, you don't make mistakes.
This is
and
the
you
number
know
one
the
thing that
important shortcuts
I
to
feel
take,
like I'm better
including
at
how to take
than
shortcuts without
other people playing
items,
Mario Kart
then you
because
will
I play
just
this game
be
a
at
lot.
a huge advantage. The difference between the most obvious
This is like
driving
such a
path
big-
and the
this is like
fastest
such a big
driving path
factor.
on most tracks
Like, whenever
in
I play
Mario Kart
online,
is a
I'm always
huge
like-
difference.
I'm
If you can
usually pretty
drive
far far ahead of the
faster than
pack.
your opponents, then the entire luck element of Mario Kart goes away. It doesn't matter if they throw red shells and blue shells at you because you will
He's
just
literally
keep
so far.
building
Look
a
at him. He's
bigger and
literally
bigger lead.
BMing.
And
He's
even
literally
if you get
backing
hit
into the
early
thing.
and thrown into the chaotic pack.
Get out
of
chain together.
everyone, you have
Bro,
by
let's play
far the
tomorrow.
highest chance to get out because if you get good items, you will make it back.
I
to
stream
the front.
tomorrow, guys.
And if you don't
Check
get
me
good
out.
items, you still might make it back to the front because just knowing how to drive fast is like having several good items. The second reason why driving fast is important is especially important at a high competitive level. If you don't know how to take the fastest lines, you might think that you are at a small disadvantage, but you are actually at a big disadvantage. Because when
Mr.
you go
Duty,
a
can I get
little
chat
bit
emotes?
slower, it doesn't mean you finish the race a little bit
I've actually
later.
been planning on doing chat emotes for a while. But I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet. So we should I will add emotes to this.
It means
What's superior competitive Mario Kart, Burial Kart?
And hit you with their
How about
items.
Burial
And as we all
competitive
know,
kart?
If you get hit
about
once,
that?
you can easily get hit again.
How about that?
It may seem like driving fast is just a matter of knowing and
Are you watching Bruno
practicing
Mars
the
tomorrow?
best paths and shortcuts, but it's not quite that simple because you have to do this.
Dude, I have a
while
fun-
trying to
I have a
play
fun
around all
stream
the
plan
other
today,
players
though.
at once, while thinking about how you can best use the 3 other ways to make progress in a race.
All right, I'll move my second part of the
Mario Kart
I'll move my second part of the
skills
stream to
again.
tomorrow.
In
We can
this
probably
race,
chain together
I'm in
today
third
then.
place with a mushroom
That's
on
fine.
a very long glider, and it's hard to see what anyone
Competitive
behind me has.
jump driving?
The player in front of me is holding a red shell and probably
Yes,
also
sir.
has a second item. Then they throw the red shell and reveal a bomb. What would you
Let's go back.
on glider?
All right,
skills
chat.
Again. In this
Quiz
race,
time.
I am in third place.
Quiz
with a
time, what would you
mushroom
do?
On a very long glider, and it's hard to see what anyone behind me has. The player in front of me is holding a red shell and probably also has a second item. Then they throw the red shell and reveal a bomb. What would you do in this situation?
I would either use the mushroom to get ahead of them, or I would try and drive to the right and try to avoid them.
Now, here's how this is going to work. You can choose to do absolutely anything. You can choose to drive in any direction, you can choose to slow down, you can choose to use
There's
your
so many
item,
different
or
options
you
here,
can
guys.
choose to do nothing, which means to just keep driving at the normal speed. So, what would you do? The answer is, I'm not going to tell you yet.
I would probably
Just
use my
remember
mushroom.
what you chose to do,
Or
and I'll
I
tell
would
you very
slow
soon
down.
what the correct answer is. In this race, I'm in 5th place, again with a single mushroom, and I'm taking a shortcut that means I am not able to get the next item box. Once I can finally see the other players, this is what I see. What would you do next?
Bomb. There's a
Pause.
bomb here, right? There's a bomb. So I would slow down and try to avoid them.
The video.
But honestly, it looks pretty hard to avoid them.
If you want to think about it, and we'll move on.
I
to the next one.
think I would slow
In
down
this
though.
race, I am in 3rd place.
But like,
with this video. If you want
look at this
other
like
players,
reaction time
this
you
is
have to
what I
have.
see.
Like look at
What-
how fast this like bomb is coming up.
to
Like
get
I
the
would
next
not
item
notice
box.
this coming.
Once I can finally see the other players, this is what I see. What
Like I would
you
not
do
notice this
next?
bomb coming, and I
Pause the
would
video if
actually
you
be
wanna
cooked
think
here.
about it, and we'll move on to the next one. In this race, I am in 3rd place with a super horn and a feather, both of which can be used to block a red shell. A few times, I get awfully close to the player with a single banana trail, and then I see that behind me, there's somebody very close with triple red shells. What would you do in this situation?
Use that horn, bro.
Last chance to pause the video. Okay, next
that
one.
horn.
As always, you can pause if you want, but I'm trying to make these quick as you should be making these decisions in real time. In this race, I am in 2nd place.
Yeah, I feel like
with
this
a
is
single
something that
banana
people
and triple red shells.
like.
I can see
Whenever I
that
play
first
with
place
friends,
has 2 green
they're
shells,
not
but
good
I
at
don't know what
this,
their
like
next item
keeping
is.
safe.
And
I
I'm coming
think.
up to another item set. What would you do in this situation?
I
Okay, last one
would
for
use my
now.
banana.
Item set.
Let's go back. I would use my
2 green
banana
shells, but I don't
so
know
that
what the
I
next
could
item is.
hold my
And
triple red shells
I'm
and be
coming
able
up
to protect
another
against
item
that.
set. What would you do in this situation?
And try and avoid the green
Okay,
shell guy
last
if
one
possible.
for now. I have just a Mega Mushroom, and I get a second item as I use the Mega Mushroom to take this shortcut. I use the Boomerang, but there's not enough time to get rid of it before the next item set. And because I hit the other player, I am now close enough behind them to potentially get a draft.
I
What
would use
you
the
do
Boomerang
in this
again.
situation?
Because you just got an item.
When you look at these 5 clips, it might look
Or
like
actually,
they are all completely
I would use the
different
boomerang
situations,
simply because
but
he was
they all
his
share
enemy,
2
and I
things
could
in
just like
common.
kill him.
In all of these clips,
low-key.
I'm in a very high placement, and I am in danger. The second way to make progress in a race is to find safety. In Mario Kart, avoiding getting hit by other items is incredibly important.
This is a big part of having skill.
Taking a shortcut, you only save about 1/3 of a second. And if you do take a shortcut, you're usually saving between 1 and 2 seconds. But if you get hit by another item, you can lose between 2 seconds and 4 seconds, and at the same time get closer to other players who can then hit you again. Getting hit is terrible in Mario Kart, so you need to be good at staying safe. So in each of these situations, the way to make progress in this race is by becoming safer. What are the biggest threats to me in this situation? Well, if I stay behind the bomb, it could explode, and somebody behind me could throw a red shell. I can eliminate both of these threats by simply using the mushroom.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, oh, you could slow down as well, right? But then that would leave you exposed to the red shell, which is why I should use your mushroom here.
And in fact, I should have used the mushroom even earlier than I did to avoid getting hit by a red shell.
Dang.
This clip is similar in that I have just one mushroom and there's a bomb in front of me. But this time, there are also other players, and I don't know all the items that they have, and this mushroom shortcut is not fast enough to pass all of them. The biggest threat to me is just being near these players, so I should slow down and take a different line to give myself time to react.
I would not be able to react to that in time, bro.
In this clip, there are two main threats. The player in first has a banana trail that is almost going to hit me, and the player behind me has triple red shells. So the best play is to slow down and super horn the triple red shells.
Oh, you even slow down.
The best play is to slow down and super horn the triple red shells.
That's
even
crazy.
Though I'm slowing down, this takes care of two
that's some pretty.
And had a bonus of taking out
some pretty skillful play right there.
Who may have become a threat to me later. In this clip, first place has 2 green shells and may throw them backwards. I don't know what the player behind me has, but they could have a red shell. Those are the only 2 threats to me, and I can take care of all of this at once by dropping the banana and keeping my triple red shells. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't use the triple red shells to hit first place, well, this is why. Putting myself in first place without
guys, this is one of the biggest things that
safer.
This
clip is probably the most difficult one.
Like, my friends usually do not follow this rule, man.
The player in front of me could pull one of many items that take me out. We're very close to each other, so we are a threat to each other right now. The best play for me is to use my boomerang and try to hit the player in front of me, because if I don't do that, then they could hit me first. In this race, I did not make the right play and got heavily punished for it. Even though all of these situations have the exact same goal, which is to find safety, it turns out to not be so simple. Because you have to first identify what is the biggest threat, and then, depending on your items, your opponent's
I should watch more Shortcut,
and
man. I think he's really good. He's such a good Mario Kart player.
You can eliminate that threat. So now that you know to focus
also the most
on
entertaining
safety
one
in these situations, and you've seen quite a few threats and how to avoid them, let's go through just a few more examples. See if you can identify the biggest threat and how to avoid it. In this race, I am in second place with no item, and then I see this. What would you do in this situation?
Go to the left.
I will not pause for very long, and then I will tell you the answer. The biggest threat is
go to
this
the left
player
or slow
having
down.
Green shells, and I have no item. So to avoid this threat, I need to slow down. In this race, I'm starting to get rid of my boomerang so I can go for the double item box. But once I'm there, I think I probably won't get it, so I go for the single item box instead.
Make your bet again. I missed it. Bro, you gotta tune in at the beginning of the stream, man. That's when I make my bed. For all of you watching, that's when I make my bed. So tune in at the beginning and watch me make my bed, bro.
What would you do in this
situation?
It's
already made, man. I can't make it again. Sorry, man.
This is exactly like one of the situations earlier, except this time, I don't have an item. The biggest threat to me is if the player in front gets an item that is dangerous to me. So I should move to the side and take a slower turn in order to
This is something that I haven't really realized about Mario Kart either.
In this race, I have the shock, and
you should be careful of people taking items
to prevent other players from taking the shortcut. I then use the golden mushroom to take the shortcut, and I find myself in second place holding a mega mushroom. I'm getting close enough to first place that I may get a draft here. What would you do in this situation? Since the player in first obtained this item from first place, there are very few items they could get that actually threaten me here, as long as I keep some distance from behind them so they don't trail me. Right now, I'm not really in danger as I can protect against red shells. So because I am already safe, I don't need to do anything.
Oh.
In this race, I have a fire flower in first place, which I can throw many times as an attack. The player behind me is incredibly close and has
I thought I would have to slow down there.
What would you do in this situation? Is incredibly close and has a red shell. What would you do in this situation?
I'll use my fire flower.
The biggest threat is that the player behind me throws the red shell. Since they are so close, I will not be able to react and I will get hit. So the best play is to attack the player behind me, but save at least one throw of the fire flower.
Oh, that's actually super smart.
In this race, I'm about to come out of a glider.
And you save the fire flower to save it for the red shell?
The biggest threat is, of course, the triple green shells. But we actually have two options, to either speed up with the mushroom or slow down to get behind the triple green shells. And if you said to slow down, then that is the wrong answer. This one is a bit more complex, but the players in front mostly have mushrooms and they are safe to be around.
Wow.
While in this situation, I did not look at what the players behind me had. I found myself
you see these like very complicated like
decisions
decisions that you have to think about.
But this time I had to use both of my mushrooms and the boomerang to finally find safety. So this play still worked, it just wasn't the best play. As we went through these, if you did not get the same answer as me, as long as you do something to avoid the threat, then that is already a great answer. And if you thought of something better than what I said, then let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about the third way to make progress in a race. But let's see if you can figure out what that is. At the start of this race, I'm in a pretty good spot at the front, but then all of a sudden, I get completely and utterly destroyed.
Dang,
I'm now nearly in last place. What is the first thing I should do to attempt to make progress from here?
The answer is get coins.
My first priority is to get coins. Most people in this situation think we should try to get good items.
This is a big part of bagging is you need to focus on coins before items.
But remember, items are random. Every time
something
you get a
that
bad
I'm not that good at. I'm pretty bad at
like
aiming for coins.
Waste them, slow down, and try again at the next item set. The reason you should go for coins, especially early in the race, is because coins are a guaranteed form of progress. Even if you get bad items, that's okay, because you're still building up your coin count, which means once you finally get the right combination of items, you'll be able to move much faster. In this race, it took me 3 tries at the double item box before I finally got a golden mushroom and a mega mushroom. But honestly, this item combination is not even that great. I'm holding this in 21st place, and it's not even that much better than what I first obtained in 21st place. But originally I had 5 coins, and now I have 17 coins. I have actually made a lot of progress, and we can see this progress quickly convert into a better position.
Get back into Mario Kart.
Simply by staying safe and getting one draft boost, I'm suddenly in 12th place, thanks to all of these coins. I used the golden mushroom where it's safe to pass a bunch of players, and you can actually see that this golden mushroom goes faster than the other player's golden mushroom. Very soon, I finally get up to 20 coins, and at the very first sign of danger, I use the mega mushroom. This makes me faster and invincible, so I squish the player with triple bananas to keep me safe in the glider. I am not in first place, but I have completed the comeback. I'm at the front where it's much safer and I have a better chance to win the race, and now I just have to find safety. The player in front of me throws their red shell, so I use my mushroom to get in front of their bomb. I pretty much have second place locked in, but thanks to a lucky mushroom at the final item set, I managed to barely steal first place. The fourth way to make progress in a race is, of course, by getting good items. At the start of this race, I am in an upper position, and there's a big mushroom shortcut soon, but I don't have an item.
This is pretty
I go through the double item box,
story.
and I don't get a speed item. I use the boomerang to stop anyone from hitting me from behind, but I get hit anyway. I am about to be in a bottom position. What should I do first to make progress?
Get coins.
That's right, get coins. But bonus question, what exactly is the next button I should press? I press L to throw the boomerang forward, which makes some other players drop their coins. How optimal. I then slow down a bit so I can get coins without fighting anyone nearby. This also lowers my placement for a better item and gives me space to get the item box. I expect this to be a long grind, but luckily I get exactly what I need on the first try. Even though my coin count is not ideal,
my item game is not that good. My bagging game is not that good.
I immediately switch to making a comeback.
That is
the players around
maybe
me
that's
were not
one
lucky,
stream I did.
And they're still slowing down.
Spend the whole stream entirely bagging.
So I quickly rise all the way to 16th place. I use the bullet bill to take a shortcut, and
I think I can
also
usually get
a
pretty good position in the lobbies I play in.
Unless you're using a speed
I'm still pretty
item. Similarly,
pretty low.
the golden mushroom gives me a big boost on water and lasts just long enough to take the next shortcut. I even got another mushroom that would be great for taking the shortcut again on lap 3. But I'm also right next to another player. What would you do in this situation? Since I'm in a top spot, I need to find safety. It's not safe to be this close to another player, but we're on a boost panel, so my mushroom will not do anything. However, on the next turn, because drifting is naturally slow, the mushroom saves a lot of time here. I go for the fastest path and end up in second place with a lot of distance from other players. Now, I didn't even realize how much time that mushroom would save, and the better play would have been to grab the double item box, which would have made me even safer. But regardless, I have found safety. Now, watch the map. We have a pretty decent lead in the top spots, and even though we don't have access to good items here, being in the pack is so chaotic that our lead actually just keeps growing. This is why finding safety in the front is so important. In this race, I managed to save the mushroom all the way until the lap 3 shortcut, and I end up winning the race.
Dang.
So, making a comeback seems simple enough. Just get coins, get items, and start using them. But what I showed you was actually just easy mode, because in both races, I attempted to make a comeback quite early. If you're up against good players, then as the race progresses, more and more players are getting hit, and they may begin to slow down for items. So the pack of racers spreads out. Attempting to come back early made it much easier. So what if you're in the front, and then something terrible happens much later in the race? In this race, I get hit by the shock in a top spot, which is not too bad, but suddenly I get hit by a random green shell.
Oi.
I drive through the item box hoping to get a mushroom, but I don't get one. This is bad.
Oi.
We're on the final lap, and I'm in a horrible situation. Unlike what we talked about earlier, making a comeback from here is not so straightforward. We cannot
What would you guys
focus
do
on
in this
coins
situation?
because the race is about to end. I cannot repeatedly try to get good items as there are not many item boxes left on the track. The racers are very spread apart, so slowing down is a huge risk. But going forward is also a huge risk as I may not get speed items.
You
for
do
the
a shot.
shortcuts.
Okay.
What are you even supposed to do here? Earlier, we
I think
talked about
Beauty
how to
Cart would
find
actually be a
safety
really
in
fun
top
idea.
spot. And as we went through the examples, we found that each situation requires you to do something different. And while you
Yeah, if
may
he
or
didn't
may
slow
not
down there,
be
he would've
able
been
to
cooked.
quickly figure out the answer every time, at least when you see the answer, it makes perfect sense why you should do this. Out of all the possible options, it's the most effective way to find safety. And you know that if you just think for long enough, you should be able to come up with the answer eventually, because there is a best answer. But this is completely different. What you should
Just
do from
FF.
here depends on your
True.
current placement, how safe you are,
True that.
the probability of what items you can get in any position you may end up in, how many item boxes are remaining before the end of the race. You need to consider the amount of time that each shortcut saves so you know if you should be focusing on it
Dang.
or not, and also, what spot are you even
There's so
trying to
many-
come back to? Maybe
So
getting
many
first
factors
place
in
is
this
out of the
game,
question,
man.
or even if it is possible, it's too risky to try for another 9th place box. Maybe it's safer to drop to 15th place where you are guaranteed mushrooms from a double box. But are you really guaranteed mushrooms when you're fighting for an item box with all these players at once? You're not guaranteed to get an item box. You're not guaranteed anything, no matter what you do. There are no guarantees. There is no correct answer.
There's
But
no
somehow,
correct answer.
You still have to decide. What are you going to
Actually,
do?
that's one thing my friend actually said is that like there's always an objective corrected answer for situations, but this is literally an example of a situation where there's no correct answer.
What we have coming up next is this item
Like,
box,
there's no
followed by
objectively-
this off-road shortcut
there's
that
no,
you need at
like,
least one mushroom for, then another item box and another off-road
Yeah, there's no, like,
shortcut.
one path
so
to
there are
victory here.
actually many ways I can get through this very fast. I could do the Tarzan version of the first shortcut to avoid needing an item at all, and then I could do the shortcut afterwards again without an item. But this is very risky. I'm very close to many players, so the Tarzan entrance may be unsafe. And even if I make it past that, the entrance to the next shortcut is even worse. And you pretty much should not be going for this unless you're in a top spot. So I
Boy.
could instead try to use one mushroom at the ending by going through the double item box. But if I get hit around there, or don't get an item, or don't even get a mushroom from the item, then that's terrible for me as well. Okay, so maybe I don't do Tarzan because that requires me to skip the first item box. Let's go for this first item box. In 5th place or worse, you can get triple mushrooms.
And then this is something you have to think about, like in the moment.
I don't actually need
like you see how long he's explaining this thing for. Like you have to think about this like immediately.
And then I can try to get another mushroom for the
next. As soon as you get hit, you can be like, okay, what place am I gonna get? What place do I have to drop down to? Should I get this item box?
Even higher chance of triple mushrooms, and I could get a golden mushroom. The risk of doing this is pretty much just as bad as before, but the potential reward is much higher. If I do get triple mushrooms or a golden mushroom, then the rest of the race is very easy, as this can take all of the rest of the shortcuts. Another option I have is to drop to 15th place, and in 15th place, the only bad item you can get is a coin shell. All the other items I can get make it very easy to finish off this race. So if I can get a double item box in 15th, I'm good. And finally, 19th or worse gets the best items, but a shock just happened recently, so I'm probably not getting that, and a bullet bill is not that great in this section as it will skip one of the shortcuts. So dropping to 19th is definitely not a good play. At this point, I think my best options are to drop to 11th
or 15th place.
So I start driving,
thank you for the 1 bit, man.
And slow down.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the cuff, sir.
Thank you, bro. And I'm in 11th. My eyes are rapidly darting between my position counter and the minimap. I can see that 15th is way too far away. And even if I do wait that long, there's a cluster of players ready to steal my item box. So I decide to be brave and go for an 11th place box. Luckily, I was able to get a golden mushroom. I don't even care what my other item is. As long as I use the golden mushroom in this shortcut, then I can take the following shortcut, and this allows me to make a comeback back into a top spot. Okay, I survived that one. But did I even make the best decision? In my opinion, that's the best play I had in this situation. But imagine if we changed my starting position, or we changed the item I was already holding, or we changed the placement of the other players, or we changed the track we were racing on. Any of these little changes could lead me down an entire different path of analysis, leading to an entirely different decision.
Says this game is not
So, okay, let's not change much. In fact, if you look at these two races, I am in almost
this is just a kid's game. Oh, it's just a kid's game, right? Yeah, it's just a kid's game, right?
On lap 3, and what do I do?
Come on, man.
Something completely different. Why would I choose to slow down this much when I already had plenty of great chances to get shortcut items? Okay, now we're going through this with a star. Is this not the same situation? I need mushrooms to get through. Oh, that's why. Yeah, these two situations were actually completely different because in the previous race, the shock had just hit, and in this race, we had not seen a shock yet. The shock is the most powerful item. Look, I'm done. Okay, this video has been so long. I don't want to explain
Grown man playing a grown man's game. That's right. It's a grown man's game.
Literally anytime. The person who gets it can use it whenever they want, and if you're in front of this player, it deletes all your
grown man playing a grown man's game.
One more thing you need to consider.
That's right. This ain't a kid's game no more.
Before we continue, I just want to be honest about something. If you feel like you've learned a lot today about how to win in Mario Kart, that's great. I'm happy about that. That's also not what this video was supposed to be about. My original plan was to just try and explain what makes Mario Kart a difficult game, and instead, it sort of turned into explaining how to win. But thinking more about it now, I think this is how it had to be. Most people have a general understanding of how Mario Kart works, but there's some parts you will not understand until you understand something else.
Wow,
and
look at that shortcut,
deeper
man.
and deeper and deeper. But however you feel right now is exactly how it feels to get good at Mario Kart. At least I can tell you that this is how it felt for me. I watched some high-level players play.
I'm trying to convince everyone
really cool.
on the internet
I want to do that.
Who
and then I did.
Thinks Mario Kart's just a kid's game.
I realized actually,
which I actually do. I know multiple people who are thinking that,
and I cannot even understand why. So I practiced, reviewed my races. I had better players give me advice, and after all that, I was just overwhelmed. Man, there's way too much to think about in one race. And then I would watch top.
I hope you guys are. I hope you guys are
understand everything that they're doing.
Seeing the same things I am.
Like I understand their item decisions, but
maybe you're just spacing out during the video and not actually paying attention. But this is class. We're in class, all right? So we will have a pop quiz on this later.
I realized something new, something as simple as.
All right, the cuff, sir. When are you going to write your name with your butt, bro? I'm not. Bro, I'm not. That was a bad time, guys. Let's ignore that and move on with our lives. But yeah, we don't talk about that, right? Yeah, we don't talk about that. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. You know, class is in session.
Oh, you need to stay away from other players right after they get an item. Why do you think I have so many clips of me getting hit in this situation? These are recent, by the way. Oh, that's so embarrassing. But then I'll also miss an item box enough times that I realize maybe I should be looking at the map more.
You've been waiting?
Slowing down to grab a good
You've
item
been waiting
so
for me
I
to
know
do
how
that?
much competition I have. That way I can set up situations where
You
I'm
need help,
more
my guy.
likely to get that item box.
I don't know what to say,
what?
man.
I want to talk more about this.
You need help, my guy.
Small things is very important. For example, this Super Horn clip from much earlier. How were you supposed to know that someone would come out of the shortcut and hit you if you can't even see them? Well, you could reason that people will be catching up and being near other players is dangerous, so you should use the horn here to preemptively find safety. You could reason it this way, but do you actually have time to think about this in a race? Probably not, so instead you can just memorize this rule. If you don't take a shortcut, then the exit of that shortcut is dangerous. Either stay away or protect yourself.
Remember
even
that,
if you
guys.
Don't see exactly what the threat is.
That's also
This
something that I
is
learned from
easier
this
to work
video.
with.
Is
And guess what?
like there's
If you're
also a
into
lot of things
memorizing
that I
rules,
could do
there
better.
are hundreds more where that came from. Here
Like
are
a lot
few.
of these things I don't
Mega
actually
mushrooms
like.
in a
I
speed
don't
boost
actually
can
know
be
about.
faster than your golden mushroom, so take a slightly wider line in the shortcut to avoid them. If you're on a turn and moving slower than usual, get ready to take that turn wide to avoid getting hit by another player. Some rails are safer because you can jump over items, but some rails, especially curved rails, are dangerous because you cannot, so make sure you can protect yourself. Take a safer and slower driving path when your items are very strong, because the only way you lose is if you fall off the track. Okay,
Oi.
if you learned something new from that, that's great, but I know what some of you are now thinking. Memorization? What is this, school? Memorizing the fastest
It is
driving
cool.
paths is already
Holy
annoying.
crap! It is school.
Now I
We're
need
in
to
school right
memorize
now.
these too? I
Mario
don't want to
Kart school.
memorize.
Let's
I just
go.
want to outsmart
Who's
and
ready?
outplay other players with pure skill.
It's lit.
Okay, first of all, if you have not memorized anything in your life, I can name exactly 0 things that you might be good at. So let's just get over that real quick. But there's something really interesting here. Compared to a lot of games, I would say that in order to become a great Mario Kart player, the amount of memorization you need to do is actually quite low. But of course, it still exists. And I know there are 202 route tracks in Mario Kart World that each have their own shortcuts you need to memorize, but you can get really good without learning them. Yes, this rating happened before I learned them, and this rating happened afterwards. Obviously, it does matter, but you don't need to memorize all this. The most important things to remember are how to avoid ending up in these terrible situations that I described earlier. There are lots of situations like this, but they're really not that hard to remember. If you try to remember. See, this is another reason why Mario Kart is so difficult. Mario Kart is one of the most stressful, rage-inducing games to ever grace this earth. And maybe you think you are immune to this stress because you don't yell and throw your controller and you hide it very well.
This is true.
You're able
This is true. I do feel like I don't get as tilted from Mario Kart as I do in Smash. Like in Smash, I'll literally get so angry. In Tekken, holy crap, that game makes me so angry sometimes. Like I remember once I was playing Tekken and then I was like on like a 10 game losing streak. It was really bad, and I got so mad. I literally hurled my chair across the room. But yeah, I feel like this game is not as rage-inducing of a game for me.
to act calm, but that's not enough.
But maybe that's because I'm still in I guess the not as good lobbies. So I still do pretty well for myself. I'm immune to rage in Mario Kart because I'm too drunk to be angry.
What I'm about to say.
Thank you for being vulnerable with us, R3D. Thank you for exposing your tendencies. You know, we're here for you.
The reason why these same things
we're here for you. You know what? If you ever need help,
lose races is because you're too emotional to realize.
You know, that's real though. That's real though.
This is not
like
bad
that.
luck. This is lack of skill. If you don't press the
Dang,
quit
he
button
just said
on your Nintendo
he just
Switch
said skill
so you can
issue,
watch it
guys.
back and improve, but instead
He just said
what
skill
you
issue,
do
guys.
is you try to forget about it and try harder in the next race, then you
I feel
are
like, yeah,
playing
that's actually
Mario
very
Kart
accurate
on
for me.
hard mode. And we've
That's
all
actually
been
very
there.
accurate for me.
To
But
some
that's
extent,
because like
we all
I
play
feel like I'm
Mario
not at the
Kart
point
on
where I
hard
need
mode.
to like
we all
where I
fail
need to improve yet.
because we are willingly blind
You only
to our
play
own
Mario
lack of
Kart while
skill.
drinking.
It's so much easier to call it bad luck or call it a stupid game and move on.
Bro is trying to simulate
Now,
what he wants to do in real life.
Probability management. In this race, you are in 5th place with only triple red
Oh
shells.
gosh.
You should
Don't drink
not
and
throw
drive,
the red
kids.
shells forward.
You can
why?
do it in Mario Kart. You know, it's
The
a lot of fun in
fastest
Mario
way to
Kart,
take
but
the Wario Stadium shortcut is by using the mushroom late to cut the ending tight.
yeah, you know what?
But even though
I'll
it's
do a
slower,
Mario
it's often
Kart
better
stream.
to do it like
I'll do it. I'll
this.
do it once.
But why? In this race, you are
Don't
going
bring your
into the
kids to
final
watch though.
item
You know,
set, and you
alcohol
should
is not
slow
good
down
if you're
all the way
if you're
to last
underage.
place.
You know, if you're
But
underage and you're watching,
why?
just don't
In this
don't
race,
join.
You should use
don't
the
join me in
star
Mario
here,
Kart.
even though it does not help you take a shortcut.
Drink responsibly, kids.
But why? Before I answer these questions, let me ask another one. Mario Kart is a game full of randomness, so why have I not mentioned
What's the
probability
Asgore
management until now? Well, that's because Mario Kart is not a game full of randomness.
Bro, believe it or not,
You
I got
just think it is.
kids watching this stream,
Mario
bro.
Kart has one source of randomness, and that is the item boxes.
Actually, a lot of
You don't
a
know
lot
what
of
items you will
the
get until you get
a lot
them.
of the kids,
And
a lot
before
of the
you say
like
there
the
is
high
one
school
more
kids
source
at
of
like at my
randomness,
church
which
likes
is
watching
who will the
likes
boo steal from?
watching my streams.
Let's be honest, the
So,
boo will always steal.
They
from
will
you.
probably be.
Now, there are other ways in which Mario Kart is effectively random. That boomerang that got thrown from the player in last place, that bounced and took you out of first, causing you to lose the race, was not technically random, but it is effectively random. This was not the direct result of any player's decision, it's just something that happened and was completely unpredictable. So it is effectively random. I could find tons of examples of things that are either fully random or effectively random that completely change the result.
I watched a
of the
video
race.
once online
And
saying
we
like
even
Mario
looked at
Kart
an
was like
example
poker
earlier
because
where
they're
I had
both
to
like
make a
random
really
games,
tough
but they
decision
both take a
because the
lot of
items
skill.
that I could get are random. So what do I mean when I
So,
say Mario Kart is not full of
that's something to think
randomness?
about.
Well, what I mean is that skill is by far the most important factor. We looked at a lot of examples.
What do you think?
Earlier
What do you
of
think
how
the
to find
ratio of
safety,
skill
and in
to
each situation,
not skill
there
is?
was
I feel like
clearly
it's
a best
kind of
play
like
that does not depend.
maybe it's
on
like
probability. We looked at how to make comebacks from early in the race, and even
I wanna
though
say
the
like
items
80-20?
you get are random, you can still make progress.
Maybe
with
70-30?
points. So if you make good decisions, then it's
75-25.
okay that you
I'll say
did not
20-75.
end up with perfect items. Anyone can get unlucky, but good players will usually avoid situations where luck is important. Let's look at this race again from earlier. In this situation, it seems like my entire race depends on the next item that I get, which is random. Now, you might say the reason why I'm even in this situation is because of that random bouncing green shell. How was I supposed to avoid that? Actually, this was 100% avoidable, but not how you think. I'm not
Can you back
supposed
up those
to
numbers with
calculate
charts
the
and
angle of the
detailed
bounce and swerve away
analyses?
from the green shell. I'm supposed to recognize on lap 2 that the blue shell
What?
just showed up, so this mushroom
Wait,
that
why
I'm
not?
holding
Why not?
is not that valuable to me in first
No!
place. My opponent has a banana
Fix
trail,
your Wi-Fi,
and I need
fool!
to find safety by using this mushroom now. But I
Can you
wanted
get
to
the game
save
by
it for the
tomorrow?
later shortcut.
Oh, yeah,
which
you
was
can
a
watch
bad
Bruno Mars
play,
tomorrow.
and I got hit
That's
for it.
really
On the
sad.
final lap, I should have been over there.
Come on,
but
man.
Instead, I am back here getting hit by a green shell.
Wait, let's watch this part again.
And I'm holding is not that valuable. That the blue shell just showed up, so this mushroom that I'm holding is not that valuable to me in first place. My opponent has a banana trail, and I need to find safety by using this mushroom now. But I wanted to save it for the later shortcut, which was a bad play, and I got hit for it. On the final lap, I should have been over there, but instead, I am back here getting hit by a green shell. This was my own fault. If I had just made
Pay
a
for
better
your
play,
routing thing,
I would
bro.
not be dealing with randomness. And this is very
I'm
common.
a streamer with
When you
single-digit
make more
viewers,
mistakes,
bro. I don't
you'll
got
find
money like
you
that.
get unlucky more often.
Hey,
But that's
what
because
if you
the
want to?
mistakes you
should
make
go to
are
Ludwig's
putting
stream
you
and
in
ask
bad
him for
situations.
ask him to pay,
Let's
bro.
look at another example. In this race, we are on the final lap. First place has a huge lead, and I have triple mushrooms in third place. Second place is extremely close. At the end of this track, there is a decent-sized shortcut that saves about 1.5 seconds if I use a mushroom. Okay, with all that in mind, what is your plan in this situation?
Okay.
Pause the video.
I'm gonna go back.
make are putting you find you get unlucky more often. But that's because the mistakes you make are putting you in bad situations. Let's look at another example. In this race, we are on the final lap. First place has a huge lead.
Hey, the coaster, thank you for the 1 bit, man.
Mushrooms in third place. Second place is extremely close. At the end of this track, there is a decent-sized shortcut that saves about 1.5 seconds if I use a mushroom. Okay, with all that in mind, what is your plan in this situation?
I would use both of the mushrooms now and then save the mushroom for a shortcut. I feel that's pretty obvious. There now with one bit, bro.
Pause the video if you want to think about it. And now I'll tell you what I did. I got one item and started using the mushrooms. Once I saw that I have an item that can protect against red shells, I used the last mushroom. Okay, why is this the best play? Why use it all instead of saving at least one for the final shortcut?
Yeah, why didn't you save the mushroom?
Let's go back to this moment and break down the threats here. Regardless of whether or not I pass the player in second, I will always be vulnerable to red shells. If I don't use the mushrooms and just stay close to the other players, I will also be vulnerable to many other items such as green shells and boomerangs. If I get hit by the shock, I will be very close to everyone else, which means I will probably get hit or squished. And also, I could lose my mushrooms to a boo. Okay, but that's just the risk. Let's look at the reward if I hold the mushrooms. If I am able to take the shortcut, I will save 1.5 seconds, which is not enough to pass first place unless another blue shell comes, which definitely could happen. So at best, I could get first place if I save a mushroom, but I need to not get hit, not get booed, not get shocked, there needs to be another blue shell, and first place has to not be able to protect against the blue shell. In the end, I used all the mushrooms, fought off the triple bananas, and as expected, I got second place. But look, there was no shock, and there was no boo. So if your decision was to save some mushrooms instead, you would have also finished in second place. Either play would have worked out just as well in this race. But there's always next race. And sure, this exact situation
none of the same thing as poker, bro.
Next race, but it's
actually very similar games.
If you keep taking unnecessary risks, eventually you will lose. And when you lose because of a bad shock timing or because the boo stole your items, you'll think it was bad luck.
Dude, we know your day
reality,
job.
You could have made a better play.
Wait, low key, like, I was actually thinking about this. Like, so I am a software engineer, so I do make 6 figures, but like I was looking at this like if I stream full time, like, does anyone know like, so if you were a streamer, you would need to be in the top 1,000 streamers to make 100K. So if I stream full time, I would need to stream until I got the top 1,000 streamers to make the same amount I do now. So I was like, am I willing to sacrifice my job to stream full time if I'm like I am I willing to give up my cushy life in order to do what I like, which is streaming? And honestly, I was kind of stumped. Like that was something I was actually thinking about.
That completely eliminates luck.
But no, the customer, I will not pay for your router thing.
What if you have to take a risk? These situations do happen, and having your entire race depend on one item box is the most common example. But in general, with good probability management, you can push the odds in your favor. And sometimes you can push the odds so far in your favor that you can make a zero-risk play.
There's math in this game?
Let's go back to these examples. In each one, I told you what you should do, but can you figure out why? It has something to do with probability. In 5th place, with these items, you should not throw the red shells forward. The reason is because there's a
do
big
both double the
coming
income,
up
12
later,
figures.
Taking this will be crucial.
Yeah, six plus
items in 5th
6
place
is
that you can get to take this shortcut are the feather, single mushroom, boo, or triple mushrooms. This is a big percentage of the item pool, and you have 3 chances to get one of these. But if you use any red shells to slow down players in front of you, you might put
can you even become a top 1,000 streamer by doing part-time though? Like, that's really hard.
And if you are in
like,
first,
I don't stream enough as it is, you know?
So being in 5th
like what
place
I have like what
your chances at getting these items, and you can still use the red shells later.
I have like
The fastest
24
way to take the
hours a
ending
week,
shortcut on
24
Wario
hours a month
Stadium
streaming.
is to use this mushroom as late
Like,
as
that's low-key
possible
nothing, bro.
before entering the off-road. But often, the best way to take this shortcut in an actual race is to use this mushroom earlier, even though this is slower. Using the mushroom slightly earlier makes it less likely for the boo to steal your mushroom right before you use it. This may seem rare, but people use their boo around here to take the shortcut. And this actually applies to every shortcut in the game. So if you have the option to use the mushroom early, it can be a good idea. But that
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
think you
mean
really
should
get there from more
always
hours
do
streamed.
this. On Faraway Oasis,
I mean,
the
that's
fastest
true.
way to take the ending shortcut is by using the mushroom very early. In a real
Maybe
race,
more time
this
for
is
short-form
also
output
great
content.
to avoid the boo. But if you might get hit
Yeah, that's
around
true.
here after using the mushroom, consider delaying it. So
Yeah,
that you
but I guess you
guarantee
need more.
make
You
it
need
through
more
the shortcut,
content to go
even
off
you
of
get
if you
hit.
want to make more short form, long form.
In
I
this
guess.
race, I'm very close to last place, and my best play here.
Like I
is to
saw
slow all the
streamers
way
saying
down
like
to
the ideal
last.
time.
Why should I do
Ideal
this?
stream
Well,
time
in
a
this
month is
particular
150
race,
hours.
Another player used the shock ahead of me, meaning I was able to dodge the shock, grab 2 items, and make a huge comeback all the way to 5th place. Can we say that's the best play just because it worked out? Absolutely not. A bad play can work out, and a good play can fail. This is a good shock spot, but there's no guarantee the shock happens right here. What if I continued to go forward and there was no shock? Well, I'm already near last place, so it's just my good items versus everyone else's good items. I'll probably get a terrible spot anyway. And if I do get hit by the shock, I'm pretty much getting last place. If I slow down and there is no shock, I'm also getting last place. But if I slow down and there is a shock, then I can climb all the way back to a top position. Out of the 4 possibilities, 3 of them are very similar and 1 is overwhelmingly better. It's a small risk for a big reward, and that is why this is the best play.
Interesting.
In this race, even though the star does not take a shortcut, you should still use it at this item set. In this particular race, I ended up dodging the shock here. How did I know the shock was going to happen right here? Actually, I did not know.
Shock dodging
Again,
is something
it's
that
not
I
a
really
good
I need
play
to work
just
on.
because it
Like
worked.
I don't know
There are
any of the
big
good shock
shortcuts coming
spots for
soon,
any of the
so being
maps
able to
that I
protect
played
my
Mario Kart
items
8.
against a potential shock is very strong. In this particular race, I actually ended up winning. So if I dodge the
Wow.
shock here, I could win. But this race was pretty lucky at the end. Most likely, I just get some top spot. If I get hit by the shock and lose my shortcut items, I have no more comeback potential and I probably get last. If I use the star and there is no shock, well, it's just my good items against other players' good items here. I'll probably finish in a middle spot. And if I save the star and luckily there is no shock, the star is not even that great as a speed item to be saved. This is a terrible play. In this case, there is one outcome that is overwhelmingly worse than all other outcomes, so there is no risk in just playing to avoid that outcome.
Do people actually think
Alright,
about this?
we've
Like when
talked
they're
a lot
racing,
about
like
making good
they think about
decisions in Mario Kart.
the risk
But,
and reward like
isn't
that?
this too much? How are you supposed to keep coming up
That's-
with the best play
Wow.
when every situation
just asked that
is
question
unique
for me. That's
and you
crazy.
have so much to consider. Do you need a supercomputer as a brain?
It's crazy.
Or do you need a really strong intuition? Alright, let's look back at this moment where I analyzed every single option. You might be
Holy.
wondering how I can do all of that while racing. And the answer is, I can't. I showed you all the options for the sake of completeness, but let me recreate my actual thought process in this race. I think I really need triple mushrooms, so I should drop to 11th. 15th looks too risky, let's just go. Okay, nice. That's it. That's all I thought about for
Dang.
this section of the race.
That's all
I
the
did not
time.
actually
That's
think about
all
every
the
option at
all
that moment.
the time he
This
has.
is
He's
called
had like no
pruning.
time to think about
Pruning
this.
is when you can quickly discard an option because it's almost certainly not good. I could prune the option to go itemless because I only ever attempt that in a top spot, which I have learned the hard way. By the way, this coin actually caused me to fail the shortcut. Next, I could prune the option to drop to 19th place because all I need is triple mushrooms. This is not a conscious process. Thanks to lots of experience playing and analyzing Mario Kart races, my
I think
brain
Shortcut has extra RAM
subconsciously
installed
prunes
his brain
for
so he's
me,
good at it.
And I
Time to
never
get the
even
Mario
thought
Kart
about
surgery?
those two options.
Yo,
While that might
true.
sound a bit like magic,
Is that how all the
you
top players
probably
are good,
pruned
like
the
in any
option to
game?
throw
'Cause they
all
have
3
RAM
red
in their
shells away
brain?
and start driving back.
That's actually
That
so.
is clearly
That's actually
a
so
bad
true.
play that will not win you the race, so you never even thought about it. With lots of experience, more and more things become obvious, even if they were not obvious to you in the past.
Yeah, I was saying like earlier, this
like
comes with experience, man.
Especially when the shock is involved. Do I actually make this table with 4 options in my head? Not at all. This is because of another concept.
I'm thankful that he doesn't actually do that.
A heuristic is a shortcut in your thinking process. Here's what I was thinking in the actual race. This is the best shock spot. Yes. Once you play a lot of Mario Karts, or really once you do any activity that involves a lot of decision making, you will naturally learn to prune bad options and use heuristics to quickly.
I feel like knowing the best shock spot is so hard though.
Just mental shortcuts.
Like, I don't honestly don't understand how to figure it out.
They can lead you to the wrong choice. I usually use dodge items at the item sets right before the biggest shortcut. This is a heuristic that I commonly use. But in this case, I have a bullet bill which skips the shortcut. So if you think about
that's all knowing the track,
because I can't take the shortcut if I follow the heuristic. During this race, I actually spent some time thinking about what to do because this situation is different from usual. I ended up trying to save the bullet for the shortcut, and I got hit by the shock. But then I still ended up getting 3rd place. After the race, I thought about it a lot more and realized that I actually made the best choice. But to do that, I had to go against the heuristic. I uploaded a short video explaining this one if you want to learn more about it.
I watched that short.
Let's look at this situation again.
That's a good short.
Remember this? In the very first decision of this video, most players would have immediately pruned every option except to take the shortcut or not take the shortcut. Those become the only 2 options available, which is actually incorrect because turns out watching the map was the real best choice. Or was it?
Huh?
Didn't I just get lucky here? What if the blue shell came 1 second later? I'm sorry.
This is what I was thinking. Holy crap, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking when I was watching the video. That's a double trick question?
Or was it? Didn't I just get
no
lucky
way,
here?
This is the goat of all videos.
1 second later.
This is the goat of all Mario Kart videos right here.
This is a double trick question. Because you should not be analyzing the clip starting here. Instead, I could have set up for the itemless version of this shortcut so I wouldn't have to worry about the blue shell at all. In this race, my lead is big enough that I can still win by doing this, and it also protects against the boo. This is the actual best choice in this situation. But in the other clip, where I have a slightly smaller lead from 2nd place, it is no longer the best choice because if I go a little bit slower by not taking the mushroom shortcut, other people can catch up and hit me. Sorry, I lied again. These 2 situations have different best answers. Oh, I just love this.
That's crazy.
And honestly, I have so much more I want to talk about. We'll leave it there.
I didn't even know that.
Instead, what you are looking at now is a series of clips that will pause before an important decision.
Okay. We're near the end. We're at 13th. And I assume there's a pretty big shortcut. There's a pretty big shortcut coming up, so I would use it pretty soon, actually.
And then the clip will continue to show a good play being made. If any of these decisions are surprising or confusing, see if you can figure out why this was actually a good decision. And I'm not saying these are the best decisions. Maybe you could find something even better than what I did here, and you can let me know in the comments. Now, I could go on forever about...
I guess... Wait, is this just the same race? What is this?
I did here.
It didn't pause. Oh, it's because it's the same race.
Here, and you can
would you get a Switch 2 in Mario Kart World?
Now,
dude, I would love to.
Forever about making the best.
I was saying this earlier, but like
because
this game looks so much fun. This game looks like so much fun.
Mario Kart. This game is known for being.
I would really love to do that. You get baited to a Mario Kart stream.
I could go on forever about making the best play.
Dude, I literally have Shortcut's best video in my stream title, bro.
Because that is my favorite.
Obviously, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be this whole time. We're almost at the end of the video.
Order in the chaos, and I do think the randomness actually adds.
Makes sense.
It's not just that
start the item
crazy hype moments, which it does, but randomness creates an effectively infinite amount of situations.
He's got
every day that I play Mario Kart creates an effectively infinite amount
he's got
of
a
situations. Every day that I play Mario
also
Kart,
the
I
thing
encounter a brand new situation
I
or
honestly
item
don't know.
interaction that I've never
The price
seen
of the
before.
Switch 2's
Every day that I play
really?
Mario Kart, I am presented with brand new
Hey,
problems to solve.
do I need to
Despite the
freaking
randomness, how can I consistently
buy a
put
freaking
myself
Switch
in
2?
situations where I have the highest chance of winning the race?
Holy.
It's one thing to play a game that is 100% skill-based, and if you are better than your opponent, then you can win every time. It's another thing to play a game with a huge random element and still win almost every time. Yes, the randomness does add variance, and sometimes the best player will get completely destroyed. A lot of people think that games with randomness cannot be good competitive games. But in my opinion, it's the opposite. Imagine Mario Kart races without random items. Races would start to play out very similarly, and you'd start to see the same situations come up over and over. And what would happen is, essentially, many different situations would start to get solved. Whenever you encounter one of these situations, you just make the best play that you've already
This is actually
memorized.
so.
Is it
This
really
is actually
satisfying
such a
to
good part of the
win
video.
simply because you have studied every possible situation while your opponent has not? Or is it more rewarding to win because, when faced with a brand new situation, you can think on your feet better than your opponent can? Because Mario Kart has this random element, you need a far higher level of skill.
This is what my friend says. He says that Mario Kart is a solved game
on such a huge variety
It's
of
not!
skills
Look at
every
this!
single race because there is
the
randomness.
randomness makes the
Mario Kart
game fun.
is a party game, but it's also the best competitive game I have ever played.
Wow, that says a lot. All right, chat. Good video. Good video. Holy man, I freaking love Mario Kart. I hope you guys got as much of the video as I did. I think like I think that's literally what this whole video is about. It's just about this it's about how good Mario Kart is, and I hope you guys learned a lot from that. I'm gonna stick to GG. Guilty Gear. That's solid. That's a solid choice. The fighting games are fun too. But dude, Mario Kart is such a complex and intricate game, bro. Like, check it out, man. All right, chat. That was some good reaction content. Holy crap, the content funnel is about to go crazy on that video. But we got another thing coming up. One of my favorite pastimes as kind of like an Asian is watching anime, and especially trashy power fantasy isekai anime. And I know you guys are gonna get mad at me, but I mean, I've watched a lot of anime so far. But I feel like one of my favorite things to do is just like lay in my bed and just go like this, and then I scroll through like the strongest sage is reborn in New World or something like that. It's like literally like the first version of Brain Rot I've ever had. So today, or now what we're gonna do is we are going to rank trashy power fantasy isekai. Let's get to it, guys. I have 25 different isekai anime that I have stored up here. So yeah, we're just gonna check it out, guys. All right. Let's start with, what is this? This is reincarnated as a slime. Wait, let me pull the full title. The first anime is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. All right. This, I mean, it's a classic, man. This salary man, he gets stabbed in the real world, and then he gets reborn as a slime, like the weakest of all monsters. But then he's like super OP. So obviously, bro, this is S tier. This is like the classic isekai anime. This is like the bona fide good stuff, bro. All the good stuff. He gets OP. Kingdom building is really fun. I like when anime has kingdom building like that. So yes, obviously This is going in S tier, bro. I love this show. Next up, Evidence in Shadow. Holy, this is like, same thing. Dude, he dies. But it's actually really funny because he's like pretending to be like a shadowy figure, and he's like, ooh, he's like super like 8th grade syndrome, and he's super edgy. And then everyone around him is like real stuff is happening around him, and he just has no idea. It's so funny. It's so freaking sick. He's OP. S tier, bro. S tier. Next up, we got Yojo Senki. This anime is shoot, I haven't watched this anime in a while. I know there's a season 2 out right now, and I really want to watch it. But basically this person dies, and he finds out there's a deity called Existence X or something like that. Oh frick. Sorry chat, let me pull this up real quick. That is just kind of embarrassing. Hello? Open? Hello? Try again? Yo, I pressed the wrong freaking button. Okay. We ranked Slime, and we ranked Evidence in Shadow. Alright, we're back. Alright, so, yeah, Yojo Senki. Basically this dude is salaryman. He gets killed, and then he finds out there's like a deity called Existence X, and he gets reincarnated as like this tiny girl, but she's like actually like sadistic, and like it's kind of fire. There's kind of like magic in it, and he's also really OP. I'm gonna give this an A tier. I don't think it's as good as Slime or Eminence in Shadow. I haven't watched it in a while, honestly. So that might change as I watch the second season, but this was decent. I remember being decent. Last up, I think this is the last of like the most popular like isekai power fantasy anime, but this is Overlord. Basically this dude, he's in a VR game, and then the VR game is like it's at its like end of service, like it's being retired soon. And after that happens, he's stuck in the game, and he's like this like skeleton overlord who like basically kills everything. Low-key, I think this anime is overrated, guys. I'm sorry if there's any overlord lovers in here, but I'm sorry. I don't think this anime was that crazy. I honestly got really bored with like the side stories and everything. Don't get me wrong, there's some really cool parts of this story, with like he's like OP and stuff, but I don't think it's that great. I'm gonna give it a B tier. Let me also change my stream title. And obviously, guys, this isn't like you know, like S tier doesn't mean like this is the best anime ever. Like obviously there are better anime out there than Slime and Eminence in Shadow, but just in the case of like isekai anime, this is like relative. Like S would be like this show, like I would legitimately recommend to people like that are not isekai watchers. A tier is like, it's a pretty fun watch. You know, people are OP, and it's like it's engaging. B tier is more like it's kind of okay, you know. There are some cool scenes here and there, but it's mostly kind of like a snooze watch. C tier is like, it's like literally a snooze watch. Like it's like very generic and boring. D tier is like, this is like actually trash. This is actually trash anime. So that's how my skill's gonna go going forward. If Overlord is B, then Yojo Senki's B tier, B2. I like Yojo Senki more than Overlord, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said this before, but I watched Yojo Senki a long time ago, and Overlord also a little bit ago, but I honestly really enjoyed Yojo Senki a lot more than Overlord. I thought it was like interesting. I thought it was an interesting concept. All right, The rest of these anime are like super obscure anime that I don't know if anyone's gonna know. I see that Mui does not know any of these, but you definitely won't know any of these, bro. Alright, so first off, we got this anime is called Knights and Magic. This person dies, but this person like loves robots, so he gets reincarnated into other world, and this person gets reincarnated in another world, and they start building like robots, and like it's like OP. I honestly really enjoyed this. I would give this A tier. I enjoyed it because I think the concept was really cool. Like I don't often see like isekai robot anime, and the robots are like super OP too, and it's really interesting. I thought the main character is interesting too. I know most of them, they all basically came out the past 5 seasons. I think I've been watching anime since I've been watching like isekai anime since like 2021, I think. So this is like most of the anime I've watched. Most of the isekai anime I've watched since 2021. So there's a lot. I think there are some I did not put on here. I left them out because I didn't think we had the time for them. But yeah, let's pull up the next one, which is Reincarnated as a Sword. This one was actually really good as well. I honestly really liked it. It is about a sword. Someone who dies and they're reincarnated as a freaking sword. And they're like there for a while, and then some like cat girl or something, she like picks up the sword and they're like OP together. Low-key, the cat girl part is a little sus, but honestly it was low-key a wholesome anime. So I would put this at A tier too as well. It's not S tier level, guys. I don't think it's S tier level, but it's pretty cool. Wise Man's Grandchild. This is called Wise Man's Grandchild. I think this is actually like my first trash isekai anime I've watched. Other than Slime, I think Slime was first, but I watched this one. I think this was the second one I've ever watched. So I think I have a very skewed opinion of this anime. Like if you look at my anime list, like I have this rated as like a 1 or 2. But I think that is a very, honestly, like thinking about the anime now, like it was actually pretty, like the main character is like OP. He's like OP, and then like the magic he does is like crazy. It's actually pretty neat. But like honestly, there's like some like romance in there. It was like whatever, bro. I don't care about that, John. And it's been a while since I've watched this anime, so I'm gonna give this a B tier. I think that's okay. All right, this one is called How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Bro dies and gets reincarnated as like a demon lord from a game, and he's like OP and stuff. Bro, this is trash. This is trash. I'm sorry. Like there's this whole harem thing that like I was like, this is like so unnecessary. It's like super like it's super generic. Like I could not care less about any of the characters. Like it's literally the main character surrounded by freaking girls, bro. So I'm sorry, this is trash, bro. This one is I believe it's I'm pretty sure it's one of these. Yes, this is called here's where we're getting into the long titles. So this is gonna be funny. But this is called My Isekai Life. I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. That's what that's called. Basically, another isekai. This dude dies and goes back to life. I feel like I said that like freaking like 10 times by now. But when he comes back to life, he's in a forest and he finds this like book, and it gives him like all the OP powers. And he started out weak, but he gets all the OP powers. I honestly don't remember much about this anime. I do remember it actually being pretty decent. I'll give it a B tier. I'll give it a B tier. Bro, multi-class and didn't pick Bard. Cringe. I don't think he had a choice in that encounter. I think he just got a book and he's like, and it was like, yo, congratulations, you got a sage. And then he just got like super OP. I actually really liked like I really liked his like power system. It was like computer based, and it was like he like did like a bunch of like this. He's like boop, 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 and it's like pretty cool. But I do remember being a snooze fest sometimes. Next up, we got Ari Fureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. I think this is more of a well-known anime. I'll give it. I don't remember watching. I watched this one a long time ago too. I really didn't like. There's like romance in this too. I hate isekai with like romance in it. Like, why are you putting romance in this crap, bro? I watched season 1. All right, I watched season 1, and this is when I was in like my peak isekai brain rot era. So I'm literally like watching like everything. But yeah, I think this is a C tier. I don't think it's trash. Like, it's got its moments. But honestly, like it's bad, bro. It's just not that good. Next up, we have this is like the biggest meme of all time. Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon. Yes, he got reborn as a freaking vending machine. Dude, first season was such a snooze fest. I didn't watch all of it, but it was such a snooze fest. I don't think it was like bad I don't think it was trash in like any regard. So I wouldn't put it D tier, but it's definitely bottom of C tier. He didn't even get that OP. Like, I don't think like the vending machine was OP in any standard. But it is kind of like in that category of like overpowered isekai protagonist. I'm gonna put a D tier, bro. This is not that good. All right, by the grace of the gods. This actually no. This is called I think it's just called Grace of the Gods. This one, he like comes back to life and he's got like slime something about. This was for the most part a snooze fest. But I remember there was this really, really like good, like heartfelt scene. So I'm actually putting this top of B tier. Basically it was the main character. Like I feel like all of these are like main characters who like are salarymen and they're like overworked. So in this specific case, he's like an overworked salaryman, and he spends all day like cleaning garbage and doing stuff. And he comes home and he sees like a warm meal at home, and like he's like, oh, I've never seen that before. I usually go home to trash. And then like he thinks about his mom, and then he comes home and he's like, everyone's like, oh, welcome home, and they're like very warm, and he starts crying. I thought that was a really well done scene actually. So I'd actually give this B tier. I thought it was actually really good. All right, we have next. This is called, what's this one called? The Reincarnation of the Strongest Exorcist in Another World. Yeah, this title self-explanatory. He's like an exorcist in our world, and then he comes back to life and like a magic school, medieval kingdoms kind of type thing. I really like this anime actually. This is actually like kind of fire. I don't know if it would go in S tier. I'm thinking. I don't think it would go in S tier, but I would honestly put this top of A tier. I really like this dude's powers. Like, it was like he would have like these like person tokens, and he would like throw them around, and then they would do stuff. And he was OP. If you're looking for an OP protagonist, this guy was OP. So A tier, man. I remember watching a school show with a magic school bus. I mean that's not isekai, but I would put that S tier for sure, bro. Magic School Bus was the GOAT of shows. I remember I had like books. I had like books, like picture books on Magic School Bus, and that genre was lit. This one is called which one is this called? I don't even think I have this one on here. Let me actually check. What is this one called? I didn't write. I don't think I wrote it down even. Sorry guys, I gotta check this. Dude, my computer is... What is going on? My computer is like lagging. Hello? Mister? Oh no, my Brave is not responding. Okay. Alright, here we go. What's it called? Oh, it's so slow right now. What's this one called? There's so many anime on my list. Yeah, if you guys want to look at my anime list sometime, I'll showcase that as well. I think that'll be an interesting stream actually. What is this anime called? I'm trying to look for it. Oh, here it is. It is called Reborn to Master Displayed from Hero King to Extraordinary Squire. Guys, this anime was actually quite good. Like it's like a female protagonist. And she was like pretty interesting, low-key. And it was like pretty, like she's OP. I'll give it A tier. I think A tier is pretty good for that. Next, So I'm a Spider, So What? This is also kind of a popular one. Kind of the same principle as Slime, low-key. Like, it's a female protagonist. She dies and then she gets reincarnated as a spider. I thought the power system was really interesting here, but like I hated there's all these like side stories going on, which I actually like hated. Maybe same complaint as I have with like Overlord, but I'm giving it a B tier. Actually, no, I'm gonna give it a C tier because the CGI in this anime was horrendous. Holy crap, the CGI was horrendous in this one. So I think C tier is fine. Honestly, it could have been really good. I think it has a lot of potential. Am I an affiliate? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am. Making money from ads. Let's go. Next up, we have it was the same studio as Berserk 2016. Classic. That's actually classic. Alright, next up we have, this one is called Hero Without a Class, Who Even Needs Skills? Basically everyone in this world has skills, but this dude's born into this I just realized this is not an isekai. Oh, this is not an isekai. That sucks. This is not an isekai. I was so not isekai. But honestly, this was really good. If you want an overpowered protagonist, you should watch this one. It's not isekai. But yeah, basically this dude's born into a world without any skills. Everyone has a skill and he doesn't have a skill, but then he like learns the skills like for some freaking odd reason, and his parents are OP, so he's like super OP. This is a really good. This is a good anime. Well, unfortunately, it's not isekai. All right, next up we have Hell Mode. The hardcore gamer dominates in another world with garbage balancing. Chat, this anime is quite good. This is a recent anime too, but this anime is quite good. Like obviously, man, same story. This dude's born in an anime without, and he's like, I think when he dies, he has to pick between like different modes. And Hell Mode is the hardest difficulty, and he picks that difficulty. It means he levels up really, really slowly, but he doesn't have a level cap, because everyone in the world has like level cap of 99, and he's like he goes above that. I think it's also worth mentioning that like this is a game I think he's played in the past. This is a game that the main character played a lot, and he got like sucked into the game. Yeah, this is A tier. I think it's below Exorcist. Let me actually order these. Knights and Magic. I can go down there. Actually, I'll put it up here. I'll put it like this. I think this is right. Next up, we have this anime is called what's it called? This anime is called where is it? The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. So guys, it's honestly really funny that like all these titles are literally like 5 years long. But this one was decent. I think it's got more like harem elements, which I don't like, bro, but he's decently OP. I remember the last episode he like basically dropped a nuke on the enemy, and that was pretty fun. So I'll give it B tier. Kuma Bear. This is actually one of my comfort favorites. This girl gets teleported to another world, and I think she was doing stocks and stuff, but she gets reincarnated with like a bear suit that she can't take off, but the bear suit is like OP. Honestly, it's very wholesome. I'll give it S tier, bro. This anime is very fun. It's very fun and wholesome. I really like it. Next up, we have Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. This anime is really good. I remember it was really funny. It's really funny. Basically the goddess sees this dude gets teleported into like the goddess's world. The goddess is like the main character, and the main character teleports into the world, and like he has like a mission to fulfill in like a world, and he's like really strong, but he's like let's say they defeated an enemy, he's like, no, we have to explode him because he could regenerate, or like I must prepare for a month before I fight this first creature, which is a goblin. So Loki, would I put it S tier? I'll put this S tier. This is a good anime. It's really good anime. Bolfree. This is Bolfree. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. This is the same principle as Kuma Bear. The first season was fire. The first season was so good, but the second season was super because they started focusing on all these side characters, which I did not like at all. I will still put it top of A tier, and I might move Kuma. I'll move Kuma Bear down to A tier. But this anime was really good at first, but then it stopped being good. So I was actually very sad by the second season. But last but not least, we have this anime is called I was reincarnated as a 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. This anime was actually really good. This dude, he dies wanting to learn magic, but he doesn't have the talent for it, so he dies to like this sorcerer, and then he gets reincarnated as a prince, and he's like, his magical ability is like super OP, and he pretty much spends the whole time just like getting better at magic, and it's actually really fun. I think I would say this is an A tier. I don't like some things I didn't like is like they kind of made it sus in a way, like the main characters like they make the main character dress up all kind of weird, and it kind of like contributes to that weird part of Japan. But low key the if you're looking for overpowered protagonist, this is it. This is the overpowered protagonist. He's so OP. And the things he does is super sick. Like, there are some crazy cool scenes in the anime. Alright, chat. This is let me look through this list again. Let's see if I missed anything. S tier, Slime, Eminence and Shadow, Cautious Hero, 7th Prince. That's pretty accurate, I would say. A tier, Kuma Bear, Wolfery, Exorcist, Strongest Exorcist, Hell Mode, Reincarnated as a Sword, Yojo Senki, Knights and Magic. This is pretty accurate too. Let me try and see if I can organize these. Eminence and Shadow number 1, Slime number 2, Cautious Hero, Loki 7th Prince number 3, Cautious Hero number 4. I would say this is accurate. Eminence and Shadow is one of my favorite anime of all time. This big character, I talked about this big character being OP. This big character is OP too, and this anime is like actually good. It's got a weird like horror thing going on, but honestly, it doesn't really impact the story. So I'll leave it at number 1. A tier. Let me try and think about this. I think this one number 1. Wolfery number 2. This one Helmo number 3. Kuma Bear number 4. Strongest Sword number 5. Oh, this is right. This is right. Grace of the Gods. Okay. I'll put Overlord above Assassin. I'll put Wise Man's at bottom of B tier. I should watch this again. Loki, like the main character was actually OP, but I wasn't cultured enough to appreciate it, guys. I wasn't cultured enough to appreciate it. C tier, Ari Furita. Okay, this makes sense, and this makes sense. Not Isekai. If this was an Isekai though, this would go like high A, low S tier. Alright, chat. Here is my list. Here's my list. Let me know what you guys think. Loki, this was really fun. I think ranking stuff was kind of fire. But if you guys are looking for any recommendations, you know, I got you. Start out with Eminence and Shadow. That John is fire. Slime Isekai. That John is fire. 7th Prince. That John is a little sus, but it's pretty good. It's like the main character is OP. Cautious Hero. That's a pretty good anime. Honestly, I feel like everyone kind of like hates on like these trashy power fantasy isekai anime, but like, dude, there's no better feeling than just like laying in your bed and just watching these, bro. Like literally what I'll do is after every anime season ends, I'll pull up like most of the isekai anime and I'll just watch it. I'll watch the whole thing. And a lot of times like it will be like super generic and sucky. Like these, not good, man. Not good at all. But yeah, chat, this is my list. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys for attending stream. That's a lot of fun. I'm gonna I'll link my anime list in my Twitch about page. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I think I'll end stream there at 1 minute 57 seconds. 1 hour 57 minutes. Sorry. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I'll see you guys in a future stream. I'll stream tomorrow. From 8 to 10, and then after that Tuesday I'm gone for a month. Chat, I'm sorry. I will reveal why I left after I come back, but I'm coming back probably like beginning of October-ish. But stay tuned for that, guys. It's gonna be super fun. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Super fun stream today. Some fire reaction videos, some fire ranking streams. Thank you guys so much for watching. A whole month? I'm sorry, man.